Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do some more fight moves. Fight moves are applications taken from our forms, various movements from our sansao, fighting drills, etc. that we can use in self-defense situations and use in fight situations. The first movement we're going to do is a movement from our napsal. Napsal, hooking hand, is seen in various forms, various drills, applications. So we'll be up, engaged with our opponent, and we can engage with them. We can palm their head. The point is the bridge on the forearm. So we attack. If they block, we bridge on the forearm. We use our hooking hand to draw them down and then shock forward, striking with our phoenix eye fist against the center point of their body. So we'll bridge forward. If they punch, bridge with our forearm, hook down, moving forward, punching and pressing against their offside arm in case of a 1-2 punch. So we bridge, hook, move in, jamming with our off arm and striking at their liver, heart or solar plexus depending on which side they're turned, which side we're on. So we move, bridge using the heavy bones of our forearm, bridge, hook, firing along a straight line, moving our other arm to jam, and then we can move into other strikes. This allows us to crush our opponent's arm, moving it down, controlling it with the hook of our wrist. We move in, palm against their head. If they block, we hook, clearing space, shooting in using our shock power to deliver a short range strike to their ribcage, or jamming on their strike, and then we can move into other techniques if we wish, engaging in a linear, straight manner, moving straight into their space, controlling and moving in. The next movement we're going to do is going to be against an incoming punch. Again, we're going to bridge, but this time we're going to bridge on the outside, bridge against their incoming attack. Then we pull. We use our body to twist and turn back, whipping them through the air, causing a jolt in their shoulder. So we come up, we bridge on the outside, we shock, pulling and grabbing the points of their elbow and their wrist, trying to engage our fingers into their funny bone points and around the muscles of their upper arm, where the upper arm joins the forearm. So at the juncture of the tricep and the forearm, the elbow goes in, the bone swells. It's a very good place to catch. Bridge and we snatch their elbow joint whilst we catch their wrist points, trying to sink our fingers into the pulse points in their wrist. We twist and we shock back, yanking them in and releasing with our rear hand. As they jolt forward, we jolt forward and punch directly into their center line. We can use a phoenix eye fist to access their solar plexus and cause a nice bit of damage to their breathing and sink into their body. So we bridge, yank, contacting the points, trying to cause damage to the arm with our fingertips, twisting the body and shocking, punching the fist in and twisting back and shocking a second time, delivering our force into their center line. So nice and smooth, jolting, using our stance, the rooting of our stance and twisting of our waist to deliver shocking short range blows to their body. Bridge, pull, strike, move in, again engaging with other movements if we need to. This gives us a nice entry against their punch, yanking them off balance, moving across to the side, shocking into the center line and keeping our rear hand up ready to bridge against any oncoming strikes, any counters, maybe pressing on their shoulder if they try and headbutt us. Any movement towards us can be countered with our off arm, our forward arm coming in along their center line, crushing against their solar plexus or punching against their sternum with shocking energy, trying to take the wind out of them and then moving around them, causing more damage. So this is a nice entry movement if your opponent's very aggressive, pressing forward, jolt them forward, add on to their energy and move in, causing a good meeting of force. The next movement we're going to do is going to be another application from this hooking hand. We have the bottom hand, which can hook downward and control, and we have the top of the wrist which lifts as we hook. So we bridge on the outside of an oncoming arm, or we grab the arm, grasping the wrist and pulling towards us, trying to straighten the arm, coming underneath the elbow and using the wrist action, the hooking hand, against their elbow joint, which is seen in various forms, grasping and lifting with the wrist. This allows us to bridge on oncoming attacks and trigger the elbow as they straighten, causing damage and hyperextension to the elbow joint, allowing us to weaken their arms and strike against their triceps and the bottom parts of their arms with the bottom of our wrist, using the bones at the top of the thumb pressed against the hand, making a nice solid structure. We bridge and strike, we bridge and strike, allowing us a lifting energy against their elbow, causing us, if we've trapped their wrist, we can cause hyperextension. Otherwise, if it slips out of our grasp, we can move in underneath, striking at their rib cage and over bridging on their arms as we take their space. So this is a nice extended, controlled way of attacking at the arms, allowing us to weaken them and move in with our bridges and grasps, allowing us to dominate our opponent and make their arms drop, causing their punches to be weak and allowing us to take advantage of the damage we've done to their elbows. So this is worth practicing and worth noting that the bottom part of the hooking hand can control and the top part can strike. It has a downward and upward energy at the wrist. So it's worth noting this in our form work, thinking about controlling an arm and lifting on the elbow, controlling an arm and pulling down. So various techniques can be used with this hooking hand. So the next movement we're going to do is going to be a Paitan moving into Pinkyun. Two of the movements from our forms that we've most recently discussed, allowing us to see that we can take movements from our forms and combine them into fighting techniques depending on the need of what our opponent does. We mustn't be locked into a thought that only things belong in a certain form. It all belongs for usage at any time that you need it. So we advance with our slicing bridge. This is to be used against a hook punch. Somebody throws a hook, we throw our forearm out into the crook of their elbow, pushing out and trying to drive the points of our fingers underneath their jawline into the side of their neck, causing damage to their arteries, causing damage to the arteries in the neck, and a sensation of lightheadedness or fainting. So as they hook in, we throw our elbow out inside their hook and push forward with this curved slicing action from our form. This jams against their elbow, driving your hand into their neck, very similar to a check hook in boxing, but applied from the ribs with the waist action and the fist from Chao, allowing us to slip underneath their jaw, sliding our fingers underneath their jawline, striking against the soft fleshy parts. We don't want to strike all this nasty bone. We want their arteries and their nerves, which is why we have a slimmer fist. A flat fist doesn't fit, but the points of the fingers will slide in around the jawline underneath into the neck. So the correct tool for the correct job. We use our heavy forearm to jam against their bicep and into the crook of their elbow, driving into their neck. If there's a second punch comes in a 1-2 action, we step sideways and we use our slicing bridge, again hitting against the same points in the neck with the side of our hand, 1-2, and using our rear hand to cut across against their second punch. So 1-2 across their body, allowing us to attack these nerves and these arteries and possibly get a knockout. 1-2, coming across a hook, hook, slicing bridge, parallel bridge, 1-2 across the centre line, allowing us to engage against our opponent, striking their neck, causing damage to their arteries and devastating blows. Also keeping this hand, the blocking hand, chambered for moving into more strikes. So this allows us to be prepared to counter hook punches at any time there's a hook punch thrown. So if we're up fighting, maybe sparring, and somebody throws straight punches and we jam with our forearm, maybe pulling down, and then a hook punch comes in and we paitan and then cut across with our parallel bridge. In sparring we must do this very lightly. The neck is a very vulnerable area to attack. Slicing bridge, parallel bridge, slicing bridge, parallel bridge, allowing us to access the inside lines of our opponent's body and jam their punches on the sensitive parts of their arms. So these are some fighting applications, fight moves that we can use, taken from our forms and from various drills, using the power at our waist and our conditioned arms to inflict damage against our opponent, controlling their bridge, controlling their arms and moving in, maybe doing damage to the arms, causing them to be hyperextended with our hooking hand, hyperextending the elbow, hooking down and striking into the center line, cutting across with our slicing bridge and then cutting across with our parallel bridge, using these movements to dominate our opponent. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.